Good morning, everyone. We are here, super excited. I was going to do a video yesterday, and I don't know why it slipped my mind, but super excited for what we have for you this month. We're going to be recording a lot of it, so just in case, we have 84 individuals today, but this is something that, I was thinking for a while. We've had some great agents that are like not coming into the office because they're a little bit further or all parts of the United States, and even DR, our agent in DR was like, hey, we want more Zoom training. So this is the month, right? This is the month that I want to make sure nobody can say that they haven't had this XYZ training. Or like how we had Edgar last month. I believe Edgar was there last month, that they couldn't attend Edgar's training because it was 16 hours. We're making sure that you guys have all the tools to be extremely successful. And if you look at the 27 trainings we did, even on Saturdays, sometimes 8:30, sometimes 1 o'clock, we have an incredible lineup. These individuals, I don't know the number. Some of these individuals in their team, like let's just say Levon did 76 million. You have Zito, his team did 50 million. Oscar, you got so many different individuals. Sean, like I would have to think over 500, 600 million in the last 12 months in sales, teaching you everything that makes them extremely successful. So after July, and I said it in the morning, and after July, if you can't get this, listen, I understand if in July you only did 3 trainings, I understand why you can't get it. But if you attend 90% of these courses, you will be the best realtor as long as you apply it, right? Knowledge, knowledge without application is just knowledge. You got to apply this, right? But you will have everything you need to be an extremely successful realtor as long as you apply it, as long as you listen, as long as you take notes, as long as you're not browsing Facebook and answering emails while these trainings are going. Ask the right questions. There's no dumb questions. There's only questions that you're scared of to change your family's life and not asking it. And I guarantee you, out of the 100 people in this class, your question probably wanted to be asked by 20 individuals. Ask the question. Now, maybe don't interrupt in the middle of a point. Raise your hand, write it in the chat. We'll try to get it back to everything. And even after the class ends, all these individuals are partners. They're never going to say, hey, don't reach out to me after this training. They're all very open to you calling them, talking to them. We want to answer. Whenever you train, I want to just tell you one thing before we put in Sir Ashley. This is like the exciting part, the disclaimers of how to apply this. And I'll probably do this on most of the calls that I can attend. Never think that a trainer or an educator or a leader or a manager or a partner don't want to answer questions. If anything, when you're doing one of these Zooms or one of these trainings, when you don't get questions, you don't feel that the audience is engaged. So you want these questions. So make sure you make these leaders get more inspired by asking great questions, dumb questions, whatever type of questions. There isn't a dumb question. It's not like school. I hate it when the teachers say, there is no such thing as a dumb question. But they're right. There isn't anything as a dumb question. And if you feel, oh my God, I don't want to unmute my mic, and what if somebody doesn't like my voice, or I don't have my hair right, or my hair is right today because I shaved it. But if you don't want to ask a question, type it in the chat, right? And we'll periodically look at it. Another thing is mute yourself, unmute yourself whenever you got to ask that question. Without further ado, I'm so grateful for all the partners and leaders that have stepped up this month to help us put the greatest month ever that Lifestyle has ever done, and education, by getting the people that are really doing this, not some, veteran producer that used to be a producer 20 years ago when there was no internet and stuff like Sean was around. Sean didn't have internet back then, but he was in real estate, so I'm not calling out Sean. But sir, I have to throw a little jab at Sean. But people that are in the trenches right now, closing deals, they're telling you what's working for them right now. So without much further ado, grateful for the first class to be by Sir Ashley, a YouTube sensation, a big producer, has his office in Fort Mill. Sir, take it over, my bro.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you, George. Thank you. Thank you for putting this together. This is something that, honestly, these calls was one of the main selling points, driving points for me joining Lifestyle, the access to everyone, producers, partners, everything just made it just feel welcoming and home. So I'm glad we're kicking off this month right, and we're going to just provide more value to all the agents and just to learn from each other. So please leave comments, questions in the chat, or raise your hand. This is an open dialogue. So I want to talk about branding and social media. So to piggyback on Ramon, last week he spoke a little bit. He spoke about Instagram, and I am big on branding and what that means for you and your business. Now, for the past year and a half, 2 years, the market has been a little up and down. We've had some ebbs and flows with the interest rate and everything, and then prices continue going up. In Florida, you have your own challenges with insurance and everything like that. Homes sitting on the market a little longer in certain parts of Florida because of just hurricane damage and different things like that. Uh, when you're reliant on traditional means, your business is going to do that up and down, that ebb and flows. But when you have a personal brand and your brand is just known, you're going to attract people in business without doing much. And that's what I want everybody to get to. Think about it. Now, Phil Knight, the founder of Nike, uh, in the beginning, he had to put tons of work in, right? So his brand can be known. Right now, he's not selling anything. He markets because everybody knows his brand. Never once do he has to sell me on some Jordans or LeBrons that's coming out. No, I know the brand. I'm going to find it. And nowadays in my business, now I'm learning different skills from all the partners and everything like that to be able to sell better, to increase my tool belt and toolkit. But I like the fact that people just know my brand and they're coming to me. Please, in the chat, hit a one if you would just love to just be yourself and people come to you because they know you and they want to work with you. You don't have to do anything else other than post video talking about the market, the area, and they feel you. They're appreciative of you. And those that know me know, well, except shout out Avery. I don't wear my hat when I work out. But 98% of the time, I'm in the hat, right? And I don't have to change up anything. People come to me, they know what they're getting, they know what to expect, and they're not judging you or judging me by my t-shirt and hat, right? So I want you to get to a point where they see you, they value you as a brand that's going to bring knowledge, expertise to the subject matter of real estate or whatever you want to brand. And you can be totally yourself and not feel like you have to conform and fit in a box when you're speaking to somebody else. Give me 1 second. All right, so let's jump into it. I want you to be able to thrive in any market using YouTube. And can you see these slides? Just want to make sure we're good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We got you.
Perfect. All right. So in order to build your brand, people got to know you. They have to see your face. And a lot of people, some people are scared to show their face and scared to get in front of the camera and everything. Get over it. The reason why I say that is because if you're not willing to do it for you, do it for your kids, for your grandkids, for your business, for your colleagues. There has to be something greater to get over your fear of wanting to get in front of the camera. And having a brand, you're able to create your own economy. Real quick, do you know these people? Have you heard of Face Smash? So you have the Winklevoss twins and Eduardo. Face Smash was the first iteration of Facebook. You all know him. You know Mark Zuckerberg. But they were in the right place at the right time. These three. And they were friends. They partnered up. Friends, I'm using that term loosely. Partnered up with Mark and created Face Smash. And they ended up being partners in Facebook. And all four of them right now are billionaires. You may not know about the other three, but we know Mark Zuckerberg. And they took advantage of being in the right place, right time. And right now, in our society, becoming a brand, having an identifiable presence, and having it allows you to, again, create your own economy. And it's called the creator's economy. Not only are you able to get business, leads, I get hundreds of leads through Instagram, YouTube, and just social media and coming through my email. Not only are you able to build an economy that way, but it opens up so many other avenues because you have an audience and people want to get in front of your audience. So the creator economy, and our creator economy are people that create on social media. All of us consume social media, or most of us consume social media, whether it be scrolling on Instagram, scrolling on Facebook, or X, whatever it may be. But the creator economy could approach $500 billion by 2027. I'm gonna go fast. This is like an hour presentation. I'm gonna narrow it down for you, everybody. And as a business owner, we're entrepreneurs, right? We have to be adaptable. So just because you didn't do video, don't want to do video, you have to do what's working in society right now. And again, when social media doesn't work or when YouTube or Instagram isn't it, we might need to pivot to TikTok or wherever that may be. So you have to be adaptable. But talking about the creator economy, over the next 5 years, 480 billion. Today is 250 billion. So it's still, it's not pennies. And when we're in real estate, we talk to investors, and I believe all of us should be investors. And one thing people don't look at is digital assets being just that, assets. Your videos, your content you put out on YouTube, long form, whatever it is, those are assets that you can monetize from. It's an investment. I have videos making me thousands of dollars that I put out 3, 4 years ago. So don't think that, oh, I'm just going to put this video out and it may not be doing something right now. No, you probably won't go viral, but you're talking to a specific audience, and that audience will find you. Your tribe will find you. Whether, so long as you're authentic to yourself and consistent, you're good to go. And my phrase, when people come into the office when we talk, my office is set up like I don't know, a content creator studio. The more visuals, the more residual, because every piece you put out probably won't do well. But the 5% that does do well will continue making you money for years to come. And what you can do, even if you decide to get out of real estate, if you want to, you can sell those leads to other people and get a referral. I had somebody reach out to me. He's an older gentleman. He's had a YouTube page. He puts out one YouTube video every single day. And he reached out to me. He's been doing it for about 5 years. He reached out to me and he's like, look, I'm about to retire. He's in the 70s. Like, I want to sell you my YouTube page. Okay. What does that look like to you? And he wanted 50% of every transaction. I said no. But the sheer fact that he's getting at least 3 to 4 calls a day, let's say at least 2 to 4 transactions a month just off of his YouTube, and he wants to monetize that, he's able to monetize it. Because right now he doesn't really do the business. He still refers stuff out and gets 50%. This is a way for you to, one, make business income now, but passively, because people know your brand and you're recognizable, you can sell those leads and stuff to people because those people that reach out are ready to go. When talking about creating a brand, don't overthink it. You are your brand. What distinguishes you from others? And you have to be consistent across the platforms. I like talking about YouTube because YouTube is the second largest search engine behind Google. It's owned by Google. So that's why I like YouTube. But I know people that thrive on Facebook, on Instagram. Scott Booknight thrives on, he's got a couple leads, couple deals from TikTok. So whatever you do, I say you got to cross brand because you don't want to be totally relying on any one platform, but be consistent and you know your brand. You know if your brand is knowledge, expertise, if it's funny, if it's sarcastic, like just be you because you don't have to feel like you're, again, acting. and your tribe will find you so long as you're consistent. And when we talk about what content should we put out, I know Sean, I've seen the schedule. Sean's going to talk about Chat GPT later this month, but don't overthink it. Use Chat GPT and hit record on your phone. Don't overthink the camera. Just use your phone, and you can get a microphone you can plug in, and you're good to go. Now, hopefully you can see this. A simple prompt that you put in the Chat GPT. If you haven't used Chat GPT, I recommend you go get an account and just put in this prompt. And obviously, put in wherever you're located. I'm a real estate agent in Charlotte and want to create a YouTube channel talking about and highlighting Charlotte, its neighborhoods, the community, the suburbs, and things to do in and around Charlotte. Also talk about what is driving culture, industry, and people to the greater Charlotte area. And that's going to give you, this is just the beginning, but it's going to give you a outline of what you should do with what kind of content you should be putting out. Now, when you put out this content, you can even get very specific as far as what to say in the video and everything like that. But you also want to incorporate yourself because this is your brand, your personality, your wittiness, your jokes, or if that is none of you, like if you're not witty, you don't have jokes, just be dry. Just be you. We have a gentleman in our office, in the Charlotte office, that he acts like he's reporting on the news. Like he really comes through like a news reporter, just giving you the facts about what's happening. And that works for him. So just find out what works for you. But when you're making video and you're creating your brand, this is something we get confused about. We think that it's about us. I'll say it's never about us, but definitely in the beginning, it's not about you. When you're making video, get right to the point. You need to talk about why this is beneficial to the audience. And then after you've given them 30, 40 seconds, maybe a minute of just knowledge and being a resource, then you can introduce who you are. Because until, this may sound bad, but nobody cares about you until they know that you can help them. Right? So long as you can show that you can help them, then they'll start paying attention to what you have to say. So whether they're looking to move to the area or looking for restaurants in the area, do not start the video off with, "Hey, this is Sir Ashley." No, nobody gives a fuck about me. Sorry. Sorry. I'm gonna try not to curse anymore. Uh, but talk about exactly what you can do to help them and then introduce yourself, because then they're gonna be invested. Because they're like, oh, and then they're gonna watch more videos. Now, when you're creating video, you want to have an avatar, who you're talking to. My avatar, I think, is very simple. I pictured, everybody's gonna be different. I pictured this client, actually this couple that I enjoyed working with. How was it? Like the transaction was just perfect. It was seamless. And I'm like, if I can have every client like that, it would be amazing. So when I talk to people, I'm thinking of them. Like this is their avatar is their, it was a husband and wife. I was gonna say 35. Let's say 38 to 55, that age range. Um, Higher education. They have a graduate degree. They're moving up. They have a home that they're either going to sell or turn into a rental, and they're gonna upgrade, get a larger home, right? And their value is education, comfort, meaning they like to work hard, they're knowledgeable, but they also like to sit back and chill a little bit, right? And what is the challenges and pain points? Challenges and pain points for them was schools in the area and making sure that there was the amenities that they're used to because they like comfort, right? They're used to a certain level of lifestyle. And where do they get their information? Now, this might take a little deeper dive, like after talking to them and everything like that. But like, what magazines do they subscribe to, even if they don't really subscribe to a magazine? What would it be? What websites do they go to? What blogs or vlogs? What do they like? What TV shows? So, and then you're getting really nitty gritty with who you're talking to. Because my inside jokes, when I like talking about Bridgerton or Suits, like they get it, right? I don't have to, like, I can be totally myself. They get it. Or take it back, I still watch Martin and Seinfeld, right? So they get it. And then you talk about problems, objectives, like what are their challenges? Their biggest challenge is they just don't know the area, right? So it's my job, or problem and objection is to educate them about the area. But when I educate them, I give them the raw about it. I tell them the negatives, but I also tell them the positives and let them make the decision to where it doesn't feel like I'm selling them. So be perfectly clear who you're talking to. And because they probably have the same social circles with people that look like them or act like them, watch the same thing, and they're going to tell their friends and colleagues about them, about their experience, and you're the go-to resource. Actually, I had somebody call me late last night. I thought it was too late, but call me at 9. It was his name is Greg. He's just over that age demographic. He's in his early 60s, but I helped him move here, and he was like, "Hey, I have a colleague that's leaving DC. I know it's late, but he just got done watching the soccer game, and he wanted to put me in contact with him." And why is that? Because he was familiar. He found me because he was familiar with my brand. He saw me on YouTube. He is who I was talking to, just barely over who I was talking to, and it was just a seamless transaction. So when you do that, that's how you create your brand. And then you're gonna make videos about it. And when you're talking about YouTube, my biggest thing is people overthink it. Just hit record. Your phone is perfectly fine. I'm filming on a couple $1,000 camera right now. When I started off, I used an old Samsung. And George, I know George is a big iPhone guy, but Samsung have better cameras. So use whatever phone you have and don't overthink it. And if you don't have a microphone, just be close enough to the camera to where your audio is clear and succinct, and then edit. Again, you can use CapCut. It's an app on your phone. And Final Cut Pro, once you are consistent with it, you can use Final Cut Pro. It's a software you can buy on your computer. Then just upload it. And for thumbnails, please, I'm gonna put this in the chat. Thumbnails are very important on YouTube. Sorry, I can't spell. So thumbnails are very important on YouTube. So when you're wondering how does my thumbnail look, or when you're thinking putting together a thumbnail, you can use Canva. Take that picture and upload it to this website I put in the chat, because it shows what it looks like and the different aspect ratios. Now, we're all guilty of it. When we're scrolling YouTube, we click on the video that has an appealing thumbnail. So use bright colors, use bold colors. You want it to pop and stand out, because you can make the best video, give the most expert knowledge and opinion, but if nobody's watching it, nobody's clicking on it because the thumbnail is non-existent, then you're not really helping yourself. And with the title and description, don't overthink it. You can use ChatGPT. Now, where are we at here? These are some of the leads that I've gotten from YouTube recently. And again, just by branding, right? Having your own brand. We have, and again, some of these aren't in my area, but people in the Charlotte region know that I will travel for the right price. You have Hillsborough, which is about 2 hours away, 2.5 hours away from me right now, $600,000 lead. You have something in Charlotte, 900, 890,000. Another one in the Charlotte suburb, 450. Now, a lot of people get confused, or they're like, well, I got a question last week. I gave this presentation against like an hour last week, and they were concerned about like what was the highest sale we got. Um, and I'll say 3 million, but let's not get confused. I would much rather, don't get me wrong, that was a nice client, but I would much rather take 10, $600,000 deals that are consistent than that one, because there's not as many buyers or sellers in that 3 million range. The $600,000 in the Charlotte area is above average, but you have more people playing in that field. Question: how much time do you need to grow your YouTube channel? Um, that's a good question. It really comes down to if you're making content that people want to see, and you can use ChatGPT, you can search YouTube or Google. If you're making content that people want to see, like answering questions that they have, it should not take long. When I mean not long, it's all relative. I say 3 months. Now, if you're making content that you want to put out, because when I first started, I wanted to talk about due diligence and what I thought people needed to know regarding Carolina real estate. It took me about 6 to 8 months to really gain traction, right? And how do you get followers? You get followers by being authentic and providing value. That's it. People are going to follow you if they are gaining value from what you're putting out. They're going to be like, oh, I need to follow this person because they don't want to miss a video, right? Yeah. Um, Andrea, heard that YouTube takes time to grow on it, but it pays a lot. It does take time, but we're trying to cut down that learning curve to where if you're putting out video on stuff that people want to see, and then you have a good thumbnail, your brand and your thumbnail, I say definitely in the beginning, put your face on your thumbnail so your brand could be identifiable, right? And yes, it can get very lucrative. How often am I posting? I'm not the great example right now. I only post on YouTube once a week. Now on Instagram, multiple times a day. But YouTube, because I've gained the following, it's more like autopilot right now. But when I started off, it was 3 times per week. And like anything to time commitment, there's going to be a time commitment. Like anything, you didn't just learn to swim, right? You had to practice. It may have taken multiple sessions. Like when you first start video, you're going to, well, hopefully you're not, right? But let's just prepare your mind where you're going to be awful, but put it out anyway, because the audience will be able to see that progression. Hell, I put videos out last month and I'm like, that was fucking awful, right? But my audience thought it was amazing, right? Um, I will, I'm about to send my email. I will send you the prompt to put out. Text me or email me. I'll send you the prompt to put in the chat GPT. But don't overthink chat GPT or any of the AI softwares. Just talk to it like you would a normal person. Like, hey, I want to start a channel. I'm a real estate agent here in this area. Why are people moving to the area? I want to be a resource. What are the attractions to it? Right? Just don't overthink it. And basically, I'm gonna wrap it up. I know it's 9 o'clock. Is when you have a brand, well, this is real big, real quick, is you want to build a community. But my biggest thing is representation matters. Shocker, I'm Black. Most content creators are not Black. Most real estate professionals are not minority. They're not Black, they're not Latino, they're not Hispanic. And we have the ability, or we might get jaded by thinking this is what it's like because we are sort of in a bubble, right? We have each other to look at, to lean on. But when you step outside of our brokerage and outside of our day to day, sometimes you're just smacked with reality. Like we are the minority, right? So representation matters. I want my daughters, they're back here, to be able to show me off to their friends, right? And I get some credit in the house because their friends follow me on YouTube and everything like that. Or their parents follow me on YouTube and they see these videos I put out, and just I'm known in the community. But I want to be able to show that, hey, just because I look how I look, I'm wearing all black, and if I'm not wearing a t-shirt, I'm wearing a polo or a hoodie. I'm not a threat, right? But many people have this misconception: black hoodie, black man hat. No, but representation matters. You have to be able to show yourself in different lights, right? And I believe through video and having a brand, I'm doing my part in doing so. And I believe you all should do that as well. So when we talk about real estate professionals, we gave that percentage. When we talk about content creators, 13.3% are Hispanic or Latino. Only 7% are Black or African American. And I don't have to tell you all, we drive culture. We may be the minority in society, but culture moves, we move the needle. So you better believe that these large brands, because they're brands as well, rely on us and our brands to talk to our audience. And you never know what opportunities may open, because you can have access to, it may open up different avenues for builders, for lenders, title companies, whatever it may be, to gain sponsorship because they want to get in front of your audience. And just real, I say recently, it's been a few months now. I just make videos about Charlotte, about personal finance and real estate. And I have about 40,000 subscribers on YouTube. And in scheme of things, that's very light, right? That's not a lot of people. My daughter humbles me all the time when everybody she follows has hundreds of thousands, if not millions of followers or subscribers. But I had Culture Genesis reach out to me, and they partnered up and they manage Steve Harvey, Cam Newton, Kai Cenat, big popular brands and names in social media. They reached out to me for me to join up with them. They want to sponsor me. They want to help out and team up and grow my account and all that. And I just thought that was insane. Now, granted, I had to look at the financials and make sure it was prudent to do so, but that it was, they reached out and everything looked good, everything worked out. So I joined them. So I'm just blessed to be part of that network and have access to those other creators that are doing it at a much larger scale. Yes, they're talking about broader things, but we can all gain and learn something from it. So do not be ashamed or afraid to create your own brand, because you never know the impact it's going to have on your business today, but also tomorrow and in the future. And know that faith and fear both demand that you believe in something you cannot see. It's up to you which one you choose. And with that, any questions? I'm here.
Sir, congrats. This was amazing. This is Claudia from New Jersey,
Hey,
New
Claudia.
York.
What's up, Claudia?
I love it. I'm calling you right after this. Right after my call, I'm calling you. Hey,
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Can you share a little bit about stories? I know you said at the beginning you were doing 3 times on YouTube. So tell me the difference between posting, the regular video and the stories.
Yeah. So the regular video is, so stories are relatively new to YouTube. YouTube realized they had to compete with TikTok and Instagram. So like anything new, when it comes to a platform, when it's introduced, they want to push it, right? They want to push it. So stories right now are, you're able to get in front of a larger audience because YouTube is really pushing it, because they want to compete with the Instagram, the TikTok, the vertical content. Now,
Right.
all of this works in conjunction. You have to be strategic about it, because the stories will allow people to see 60 seconds into what you're talking about, what your content may be about, but always direct them back to your channel to where they can see that long form content, whether it's a 4-minute video or a 15-minute video. You want to go hand in hand.
Perfect. I think that's exactly where I was going to. So I can share the story, but don't forget to link the YouTube channel so that they know where to go for more.
Most definitely.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
This is a good one. I'm sure a lot of people may want to have asked, but if you had to put a number, you don't have to say in total per year. On the average, how many sales per year are you getting from YouTube?
At least 70.
Jeez.
And right now, I'm at a point where my office knows, like I get the leads, people come in, and I just give it to them. We split it.
That is
Where I
crazy.
Is it
really
7 or 70?
70 to where I just want to like I want to create content. I want to create and be the brand. And then it's weird because people that know me know I like to just sit back and be like in person. I don't want to be seen. Don't talk to me. But in camera, I want to create the brand, be noticed, and get it out. And then when people come in, I'm just feeding the team, feeding the business.
And if anybody has a calculator, and I'll say 15,000 the average commission, but let's just say 10, that's from 700,000 to over $1 million on something that, I mean, you could advertise, but something that is free, just like social media. You know, it's a tool that's free. You don't have to pay to put YouTube videos. You don't need any equipment. You could get your iPhone. You could do all your videos through your iPhone. It's for something for free, an extra, million plus, and continuing to grow. And that's not to say there hasn't been $1 million deals there or $20,000 commission, 30. Let's just say $1 million or $2 million in commissions on something that's free and that you don't ever have to go door knocking or, I mean, you could, but you don't have to
Yeah.
if you do that very well. Cool. You could be in the AC. I'm sure Sir has AC on right now in that studio where you don't have to go get that heat that's out there. Even in North Carolina, there's heat though. Even Jersey, Sir, is a lot of heat because I was
No,
just
it's a
there. It
lot
was
of
hot.
heat. And that's how I started off with like I am a good realtor. Do I think I'm the best? Will I say I'm the great realtor? I'll let other people say that, right? But I believe I am a great marketer, right? To where business I attract and I don't have to go out and sell. Like I attract it and then I'm able to make money off of it. So it's much better, I believe it's a better place to where business is coming to you and you're not worried about the whims of the market when you're trying to sell because it's coming to you.
Sir Ash, this is Louis Shivari down from Homestead, way down south. Thank you for sharing.
Nice, nice. Thank you. The name of my YouTube channel is Real Estate Advisor Sir Ashley. Real Estate Advisor Sir Ashley. Now, if I can, again, you want to brand yourself. If I can start off all over again, it would have been like, because nobody was really on YouTube when I started in the Charlotte area. It would have been like living in Charlotte or living in something with Sir Ashley. But because that was the name I chose and it has worked, I stuck with it. But if I could have cornered that market, it would have changed up and it would have been like living in or living with in a certain area with Sir Ashley. Because I want to be the go-to resource. Like no matter what happens, I want them to be like, I get texts from clients 3 years ago, like, hey, did you know about this? Did you know about that? And they actually keep me informed. Actually, I'm looking at one from Charles right now. So yeah.
Sir, I know some other people were gonna ask, if you want to be as basic as possible to start recording YouTubes, what I mean, you were your iPhone, any iPhone, I would say iPhone iPhone 12 and above. But what you're just getting like a mount? Do you need a mic? What would you say? What would be the best recommendation you would say on entry level?
Yeah. So give me 1 second. I have tons of stuff around here. Your iPhone, put it on a holster. You can see this right here. So I have two cameras going. Put it on a holster, get a little tripod, and then just hook up a wired mic. This is like $50, but you can get some for like $20. Wired mic, you can clip it to your shirt, clip it underneath your shirt, hook it to your iPhone, and this cord is pretty long, and that's it. It really is. You already have a phone, right? So this costs about $5, let's say $10 max, and this is 50. So you can get started with less than $100 investment.
All right. Anyone else with questions? All right. Sir, man.
I
Thank you
appreciate
for
it. Thank you for
leading
having
leading
us.
the
Thank you
charge,
for having me,
man.
brother.
Thank you for leading the charge, guys. Tomorrow morning, 8:30, we have Fran talking about commercial real estate. Thank you to Sir Ashley, North Carolina, Fort Mill, Charlotte. Let's do this, guys. Get to work.
Let's do it.
Put into practice. Start your channel.
Let's go, sir. Leading
Let's
the
go.
pack.
Thanks,
I love it. Raising the bar, bro. You set the bar good for these people this month. So let's get it, man. Phenomenal training. I love this, George. Keep it up, man.
Thank you.